test check, voice testing. It would have been alright if intellect was only an obstacle. But an obstacle can also become a stepping stone. You are walking along the pathway and there is a huge rock lying in your way. Now, this is an obstacle no one can deny. You may return thinking the pathway does not go further. Maybe that rock indicates the end. Certainly, there is a way forward. If you climb on the rock, a new pathway is revealed. And certainly, this will be totally a different level from the previous lower one. A new dimension opens up. University education refers to outer dimension and meditation relates to inner dimension. And the two are equally relevant for balanced development. The unintelligent one will return from there thinking the rock to be an obstacle. However, the intelligent one will use the rock as a ladder and step over the stone to reach to the other side. And intelligence or wisdom is totally different from intellect. Without training the intellect, the children will remain like an animal. It is not that they will become wise, not that they will become like Buddha, Mahavir, Krishna, or Christ. They will remain like wild animals. Of course, they would not have the obstacle, but they will certainly would not have any means to climb up either. In itself, there is the stone an obstacle, nor is the ladder a help. You have to learn how to use the stone as a stepping stone or the ladder as the stepping stone. It is up to you to use it or not. So it is necessary that every child goes through the proper intellectual training, and the more beautiful and sharp his training is, it will nullify the stronger, bigger, and the vaster rock of intellect. And then it will be better because in the same proportion it is a means to rise to greater heights. The one who gets crushed under this rock is the Pandit and the dull-witted, and one who stands on top of the rock is a mystic. And the one who out of fear does not even come close to the rock is the ignorant one. The intellect of an ignorant one was never trained. The Pandit's intellect was trained, but he could no longer go beyond the boundaries of the known, the scriptures. The wise one's intellect was not only trained, but also managed to go beyond the boundaries of the known, the scriptures. If you try to avoid, that would not help. Certainly one has to go through it first and then one day beyond as well. And whatsoever experience one goes through in the process certainly intensifies one and also makes one luminous. Buddha and Krishna are extraordinary intelligent ones. Holy Prophet was uneducated, yet his intelligence is extraordinary. Just think about it. An uneducated man like Muhammad gave Quran to the world, which has stirred and impressed nearly 1/3 of humanity, and it still remains unintelligible even to the scholars with all their wisdom and university degrees. And today the words of Quran are still the code of life for a Muslim. The man may have been an illiterate, but the sharpness of his intelligence was unique and beyond human comprehension and known dimensions of the consciousness. The codes he created are still effective, and millions of hearts are thrilled and inspired by them. And the kind of system he provided in Quran is neither available in Bible, nor in Upanishads, nor in Gita. In essence, the Quran is a multidimensional book. It is not only religious, instead it is a social science as well. And not only social science but a political science as well. The Holy Prophet tried to discipline life in a complete way from all dimensions, the political, the social, the religious. That's why I call it multidimensional. From the trivia of life to the vastness of the Brahman, the ultimate reality he encompassed all in Quran. Everything he encompassed in Quran. This is why for Islamic religion, one scripture alone, the Quran, is sufficient. And this is also why Muslims proclaim that God is one and there is only one messenger of God. Of that one God, only one messenger is enough. This man must have been very intelligent, and no one can doubt his intelligence. He was uneducated, and being uneducated has nothing to do with having or not having intelligence. We see the educated ones and find them without intelligence. So your so-called education has nothing to do with intelligence. Nothing to do with intelligence. We see educated ones and find them without intelligence. Your so-called education has nothing to do with intelligence. Intelligence is inborn quality. It is the process of squeezing the essence out of the experience. I therefore emphasize the intellect of the child will have to be trained, his logic will have to be trained, sharpened, so that it becomes like a sword. And then, whether he will cut himself with the sword, or commit suicide, or save someone else's life, it all depends on his intelligence. Intellects need to be trained, while intelligence is your inborn quality. You cannot train an individual to be intelligent. Logic is just a means. It can be used either way. For destroying life, then it is destructive. For creating life, then it is creative. But one thing is certain, if you keep children deprived of intellect, you cannot make them intelligent. They would be innocent like an animal, but they would not be meditative like sages. Many times it has happened that a child has been taken away to the forest by some wolf. Incidents reveal when two girls were found in the forest near Kolkata in India. Furthermore, another child who has been brought up by the wolves was found in the forest near the city of Lucknow in India. The child was quite grown up physically. He has nearly 14 years of age. This child has never received any formal human education. He never known any school or any human company. He was taken away by the wolves while he was still an infant in his cradle. So he grew up with the wolves. He was unable to even stand up on his own 2 feet, because that too is a part of human training. Never ever think that you are standing on your own 2 feet just on your own. You have been taught to stand up on 2 feet, and it was only after proper training you learn to stand up on your 2 feet, and then you learn to take the first steps, and then started walking. The human body is designed to walk on all fours. No child walks on 2 feet after his birth. He walks on 4 feet, 4 naturally, and this you call creeping. The walk on the 2 feet requires a learning process. If you call scientists and physiologists, they say a very strange thing. They will say that human body can never be healthy like that of animals because human body was meant to walk on 4 legs, and he has messed up everything. He is walking on 2 feet. This has disturbed the whole system of the man. It is like a motor vehicle which was not designed to go up on the mountain. In the process of climbing the mountain, the gravitational laws are disturbed. Then, when you walk on the ground on all fours, you are balanced. Your weight is equally disturbed and equally distributed when you are walking on fours, and your body is parallel to the gravitation. There is equal amount of gravitational force all along your spine, and there is no trouble in that. But when you stand up on your 2 legs, everything is disturbed. The blood has to flow in the opposite direction, upward. The lungs have to work extra unnecessarily all the time. There is a struggle with the gravitational force. The earth is pulling downwards. So if a man dies of heart failure, there is no wonder in it. No animal dies of a heart failure. The heart weakness cannot develop in animals, and it cannot be avoided in men. It is a miracle if it does not happen to some men. Otherwise, in general, it is bound to happen because all this reverse work of pumping the blood is being done continuously, which is a must. But nature has not designed things this way, totally different way. So the boy could not walk on 2 feet. He only used to run on all fours, and his running was also not like that of a human beings, it was like that of a wolves. Also he used to eat raw meat like wolves. He was very powerful. Even 8 strong men would find it difficult to hold and tie him down, and he was almost a wolf. He may bite, snatch off the portion of your flesh. He was simply ferocious. He had not become a meditative saint. He had become a wild animal. And similar incidents have happened in the West as well. Children that were brought up in the forest by animals, their life was like that of an animal. The effort was made